Oh yeah, we're back and time is flying. So I'm gonna get right to it. Needs. First of all, this is Marlon Saunders on the Marlon Saunders Show, KHTS Radio, 1220 a.m. It's the hometown radio station.
Co-host Malika Blessing.
That's right. What hometown? Santa Clarita.
Santa Clarita.
And I'll tell you one thing. As tired as I am, I bet you I'll be up in the mall after this show is done. Yeah. I need some shoes for church tomorrow.
What mall?
The Valencia Mall.
Yeah, okay. I was say, what mall? I want to go to that mall. I think I haven't been to mall.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to the Valencia Mall. The mall out here? Mm-hmm. Oh, you got to go.
They have a good mall?
Oh, you got to go.
Okay.
Yeah, when they pay me a little more money, I'm going to say a whole bunch of more stuff.
Okay.
But you got to go.
All right.
Okay, so needs. How do your needs play into your relationship? Watch this, y'all. You got your pen, you got your paper, you got your pencil. Here we go.
And my phone.
And your phone.
Right.
Everybody needs to go into their relationship knowing very clearly what they need, not want, but need out of that relationship. A need is the oxygen to your relationship. So like, for instance, oxygen is not something I want, it's something I need.
Right.
Without oxygen, I'm going to die. So I need oxygen. Everybody has 3 to 5 things, no less than 3, usually no more than 5, 3 to 5 things that they absolutely need in a relationship. It is the oxygen to your relationship. Some examples. Some of us need financial security. We need spiritual covering or security. We need that emotional security. We need physical security. And there are different breakouts to those. And there, of course, the need varies across the board from person to person. And it varies also from men to women. But everybody has 3 to 5 things. So now, when you go into a relationship, you have, let's say you're married already, or you're about to get married, or you're considering someone to marry. Here's your mindset. Can this person give me what I need? Not want, but need. Now, how do you find that out? Don't guess. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to read the signs. Don't try to, predict the future. Ask them. Just ask. Say, I have a question for you. I have 3 to 5 things that I need in order for us to be successful. And I need to know right now, can you supply those things? Now, if you're married and the person says no, you cannot divorce them. What you have to do now is sit down and talk through that thing. You have to maybe get a third party to come and help you work through those issues. Divorce is not an option. What you have to do now is you have to work it through. Now, I'm saying in this case, it's not an option because now I'm about to open up a whole can of worms. Mm-hmm. And people always want to know, well, can I divorce if this, that, the other? Listen, even the Bible gives certain criteria where I can say, that's it, I'm out. So if the Bible gives criteria, then certainly there is some that exists. But I'm not talking about those things right now. I'm talking about things that can be fixed. I'm not talking about you want to leave him because he snore. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about she got bad gas and now you can't stay in the house. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is stuff that can be fixed. I have not felt like I've had a spiritual covering. Well, we can talk through that. What does that look like? Well, I need you to pray with me. I need you to take our family to church. I have not felt like I've had financial security. Well, what does that look like? I need to know that we can keep the lights on. I need to know that the water can stay on, so on and so forth. Those are things that can be worked through. Now, if you're in an abusive relationship, that's way different. Yeah. I'm not talking about that. That's way, I help you get your stuff out the house. But that's way, we're not talking about that right now. What we're talking about is stuff that can be fixed. So, do we already have to get ready to go to a break? Okay.
But I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I understand about the needs. I understand about, trying to talk through it. But what if your partner, your husband, the person that you with, the communication is part of the need that you need, right? But they don't feel comfortable communicating to even get to that point to try to figure out how we can make those needs work. Yeah. What do you do in that kind of situation?
Great question. Everybody has ideal conditions in which they don't mind communicating. Mm-hmm. What we have to do in a case like that is we have to find out what is the ideal condition to communicate. For instance, I know as far as my wife and I are concerned, I don't need to try to talk about anything serious until we've had coffee and we've had a moment to understand that today is a new day. It's Tuesday, it's Wednesday, kind of get
Right.
into the morning. If I try to wake her up first thing in the morning, I want to talk to you about something, it's all bad.
Right.
Late at night, if it's late at night, sometimes that can go all bad. Oh, she wants to go to bed. It's been a long day.
Right.
So everybody has that. I have those times. You have those times. So sometimes what we have to do is establish, okay, there's a communicator in you somewhere, or else you'd still be in kindergarten.
Right.
So there's a communicator in you somewhere. What we need to find out is what conditions set the atmosphere that is conducive for that communicator to come out. Now,
Okay.
even in that, let me say this while I'm thinking about it. Most communication, in fact, I'll be specific, 93% of communication is nonverbal. 93%, which means 7% of what you say is what's actually making a difference. 93% of what you're not saying is what's making the difference, is what's setting the atmosphere. For instance, I look off into the sky. Girl, you know I love you. Well, I said, girl, you know I love
Right.
you. But when I looked off and didn't look at you and looked off into the sky, that's what made a bigger impact. I get it. I understand. Well, I said I get it and I understand. But the hollering, the screaming, the raising my voice, the
right.
tone, right. So that's what makes the difference. So you have 3 to 5 things. Now, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Right.
But do you know of 3 to 5 needs that you as a woman that you have in a relationship?
Well, the main one is communication.
Okay.
I need to have that. I have a I don't know, because I'm a talker, so I like to talk my way out, and sometimes I repeat myself. So I like to have that. Another thing is affection. I've noticed that I didn't really trip about affection too much, but I think once I had Nehemiah, my son, that I saw the affection that was given, and it helped me to give affection. So I know that I want that. Like, that's a need. And that's something that kind of came out. Can that happen, that needs start to come up later in the relationship, in the marriage? Like, you probably didn't have that particular need in the beginning, and then it comes?
Well, I think what happens over time is that certain things are highlighted as life progresses. And so the need can be underlining, but there's a certain event, a certain occasion, a certain something that watered that seed and made it sprout up. So I've always had the need for affection. But now, since a series of events have happened and life has kind of transitioned, now that need is being brought to the forefront.
Okay.
It's kind of like whatever gifts and talents my kids have, they have right now.
Right.
Now, I may not find out until one of them turns 15 that they can sing or that they can play basketball, football, whatever. But they were born with that seed already in them.
Okay.
My son, Mason, my daughter, Sydney, even my other son, Max, they're 8, 6, and 2. And already I'm seeing things in them. I'm going, okay, that's a gift and a talent. Like, they can dance like really good. They are very creative. If you guys log on to my Facebook page, the Pastor Marlon Saunders Facebook page, there are a couple of little crazy commercials that we put on there. They thought of most of that stuff.
Wow.
We sit down and we talk, and they'll say, Dad, how about a commercial where I'm shooting lasers out of my hand?
Right.
Cool, let's do
Right.
it. So, but that seed of creativity is in them. So as we progress in life, yes, we do discover that this was in me the whole time. I had a need for affection. And I mean, not to be too deep on this, but it would explain past hurts and frustrations prior to the current relationship too.
And I think that's one of the things with me was that I've always had a relationship with my father, but it wasn't a lot of affection there, even though I knew he loved me. And so it kind of trickled over into my relationship until I had Nehemiah, and I was just like, okay. But I was a lot more affectionate to women because I had so much affection from my mother.
Yeah.
So that was, but anyway, you answered my question of what I wanted. And then the other thing is a personal relationship with Christ, because I think that that's a need that I have to have. If they understand the importance of Christ and what the Bible teaches and understanding that, then that can help our relationship, we can always go back to that. We can always go back to prayer. We can always go back to what the word says. We can always go back to that. So that's an absolute need that I have to have in a relationship.
Well, it's so funny you say that, because the real purpose of marriage, a lot of people don't understand what the real point of marriage is. We think it's because boyfriend and girlfriend is not strong enough. It just seemed like we should do more than this. We've been boyfriend and girlfriend for so long. I need something more powerful to call you. That's not why. That's not why we get married. And certainly we don't get married because we have children together or anything of that nature. If you look at the Bible, it's not until you get into the New Testament where you really understand what marriage is all about. The Apostle Paul is writing all these letters, and he starts to talk about husband and wives on a couple of different of occasions. And he says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loves the church. Mm-hmm. He has this habit now of writing where he can't talk about the husband without talking about Christ. Mm-hmm. And he can't talk about the bride or the wife without talking about the church. Mm-hmm. So you see this pattern in his writing that, okay, every time you bring up husband, you bring up Christ. Every time you bring up the wife, you bring up the church, and you start to call the church the bride of Christ. Well, now it hits us after a while, after doing some study of that the real point of marriage is to be a tangible example of Christ's relationship with the church. So when people see you as a husband and a wife, you actually represent Christ in your husband role, and you represent the church in your wife role. So when people see you, they ought to get it. The lights ought to turn on as to how Christ feels about us, how we feel about him, how our relationship dynamic should be. So now we're more careful how we talk to each other, how we treat each other, the respect, the love, so on and so forth, because I represent Christ and my wife represents the church. When we really get that, we'll begin to approach each other differently, communicate with each other differently, talk to each other differently. It'll be different. Yeah, it'll be different.
Interesting. Yeah.
So that's the real reason of marriage. That's the real point, so that people can see you and see Christ in the church. So we have this needs list, and I love how you said affection, because I think that goes across the board. Affection is definitely a need. Some form of security is definitely a need. So now, get those 3 to 5 things, y'all. Write them down. Tell your boyfriend or girlfriend, your fiance, your husband and wife, or your best friend who you consider in making something more serious. Tell them to write their 3 to 5 things down. Now, if you're not married yet, then this is what we call deal breakers. You're not married yet. If you're married, this is what we call issues that you need to work through. But if you're not married, these are deal breakers. So you go out to dinner tonight, you sit across from your best friend, your fiance, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You say, I want to do something. I want to talk about what we need out of this relationship. I don't want to spin my wheels. I don't want to just date just to be dating. And so I want us to put together a list, 3 to 5 things that we absolutely need from each other. I want us to exchange the list, read the list, and I want us to tell each other very honestly, open, and as transparent as possible, can we do these things? And if we cannot do these things, we need to get the bill now.
Right.
And get our tip together.
Right.
And I'll see you when I see you. Arrivederci, don't let the door hit you. Where the good Lord don't split you. I don't care how you get out of here. Just get out of here. You can moonwalk home. You can ski. You can catch a cab. Get in a helicopter. Get a cape. Try to fly home. Yeah. It don't really matter to me. Teleport.
Look, I have a question.
Okay.
Another question. Is not really about needs, but it's about relationship. Okay. So what if, I know that, everything is pretty much divine order, God ordained, marriages and things like that. So can it be possible that you married the wrong person?
Ooh! No. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because technically, God in his divine genius, his divine wisdom, his omniscient, omnipotent ways. Did I say enough names?
Yeah,
right
you
there?
did.
Here's how God puts people together. And a lot of times when we think we are out of order, we're right where God wants us to be. Everything God allows for a reason. Now, God does not cause everything, but God allows everything.
Okay.
So now if he allows it for a reason. Anything we don't experience is because God didn't allow it. Anything we do experience is because God allowed it. Again, don't get confused with God allowing something with God causing something. Those are two different things. Now, when God allows something, he always allows it for a purpose and for a reason and for a plan that's bigger than what we understand right now. Here's how God puts together relationships. God takes your area of weakness. He takes your area of hurt and pain. He takes what you need healing in. He finds somebody that can heal you in that area or at least get you to deal with that area, and he'll begin to pair you with that person. As we deal with some of the things that we need to deal with, it's uncomfortable, it's painful, and it's frustrating. And sometimes we'll look at the other person and go, you did this to me. I can't stand you. You the wrong one. But that's not what has happened. What has happened is that person has pulled out of you some things that were deeply rooted and deeply seated in you that needed to be dealt with. Now, it's possible to marry somebody that also has issues. In fact, 100% of the time, you're going to marry somebody that also has issues. Why?
Right.
Because there's no such thing as a perfect person. And just like I have issues, they have issues. So it's possible to marry somebody who also has issues. Those issues may be frustrating, but just like there's something on the inside of them to heal the issues on the inside of us, there's also something on the inside of us to heal the issues on the inside of them. And so it's amazing because God strategically pairs us when we think a lot of times we got with somebody because they were fine or he was handsome or so on and so forth, what have you, talented, a lot of money, or just nice.
Right.
I asked my wife when we were dating, I said, how do I get with you? It was right before we started dating. How do I get with you? What do you need me to be to hook up with you? She said, I never thought she'd say this. I thought she was going to say tall. And I thought, okay, well, hey, I'm done. She said, be nice. I was like, what? She said, just be nice. Now, a woman as beautiful as her to tell me, just be nice. Oh, that was a breath of fresh air. Because Lord knows, she could have sat back and said, I need you to keep a minimum balance of $1 million
A minimum
in your spare account. That's the minimum balance. That's the account we don't touch. That's for a rainy day. I need you to drive. And so she didn't even go there. She said, just be nice. So sometimes, we'll get with people and, they're nice or what have you. And we later discover that they do have issues. I don't think you can marry the wrong person. I don't think you ever get with the wrong person. Because I think God's purpose and plans are far bigger than our humanistic actions. And, I just believe he's bigger than us.
Right.
So, good question, though.
Yeah, I always wanted to know that.
Good question.
Because a lot of people, some people and friends that I've, encountered and we talk, with girls when we talk. And a lot of times sometimes they feel like, am I supposed to be with this person? And I always wondered that because I know God ordained marriage. So it's like, okay, God don't make mistakes. So is it just a way out for us wanting to give up? Or is it something that we just have to really kind of focus on to try to make it work? And then that's where the needs come in at, the different areas of what you're talking about. So
if you're married now, unless the relationship is dangerous, unhealthy in the sense that, it's a threat to your life, your health, then you need to stay there. Now, if it's a danger, and if it's something unhealthy, like, they cheating on you and all that kind of stuff, or they are verbally or emotionally or spiritually or physically abusive. Now, if there's something like that going on, then we need to really figure that transition out. I don't, and some people may disagree, whatever, get your own show and talk about me. But I don't tell people to stay in abusive and unhealthy relationships. I don't. Because I wouldn't. They'll be beating all up on me, and I'm staying here because I think God told me. Devil is a lie. You ain't going to be sitting up calling me out my name when I know that's not what's on my birth certificate. And you throwing stuff and breaking up stuff. It cost me money to repair what you done broke. And you just looking at me, your eyes all glazed over like ain't nobody really home. You got super strength all of a sudden because you drank too much. You on that stuff, hiding it all in your dresser drawer and all that kind of What you're not going to do is bring your demons up in this house. That's what you're not going to do. I bet y'all put some oil on everything when you go to sleep.
Oh, God,
so
kid.
I don't tell anybody to stay in foolishness. That's what I don't do. And so, because some of this stuff is just foolishness.
Yeah, it is.
I ain't gonna be sitting here while you treating me like I'm some kind of alley cat. No, that's what I'm not gonna do.
Alley cat.
That's what I'm not gonna do. Anyway, y'all, I got to go to break. I'm going to drink some of this coffee. This is Marlon Saunders on the Marlon Saunders Show, kicking it with Malika.
Hey, Malika Blessing. Here in the house.
This is KHTS, y'all. Get something to drink. Let's talk more in a few minutes. Yep, I'm back. This is Marlon Saunders, Malika Blessing here with me.
KHTS.
That's right, the hometown station.
The hometown station.
I love this station.
Santa Clarita.
That's right. I gotta say thank you to the owners of the station, man. Carl and Jerry Goldman are absolutely wonderful. I love them. And I promise y'all, I'm not just saying that. Like, I love them for real.
Yeah.
I love them. Oh my gosh, Carl and Jerry, if y'all listening, hi. Okay, so
I want to meet them.
you have to meet them.
Yeah.
They would love you.
Okay.
Relationships. Let's move on. So I've talked about the needs list. Here's the next list I want you to make in your relationship. Now, this can be as many or as few as you deem necessary. Make a list of all of the red flags in your relationship. Yeah, this is an uncomfortable one and often painful one, but you got to do it. You know what I discovered? Sometimes I'll sit with couples and I'll talk to couples and they've been together 5, 10, 15, 20 years. No matter the length of time, whenever I ask this question, how much of this is new? They always say, well, none of it is really new. And it's the truth. There are things that have been there since day one. It's just bothering the bananas out of you now on 20 years later. But he did that when y'all was dating. You thought it was cute then, or you thought, he'll change. He'll get over it. Or
change.
Yeah. She did the same thing. Dude, she was dropping it like it was hot when y'all was back in college. Now she's still dropping it like it's hot. I know she's 74, but still, she's the same person she was when you met her then. You can't get mad now. My point is this. If people change, it's because God changed them. You can't change anybody.
That's true.
So what you have to do is you have to assume that nothing will change.
Yeah.
Here's what you do. You ask yourself this question. If nothing changes about this person from today to 100 years from now, will I be cool? Will I be all right? Am I going into this relationship going, it's cool, but I hope he doesn't do this. It's cool, but I hope she doesn't do this. If you're doing that, we have an issue. You need to write down all of the red flags. What is it that is bothering you? Deal with it. Deal with it. Is it the fact that he can't get a bank account? Is it the fact that all her dresses stop just below her hiney? I gotta say hiney on hometown station.
Yeah, hometown station.
Is it the fact that he never takes anything serious? Is it the fact that she is messy? I don't mean like as far as relationships, but I mean physically messy, like leaves stuff all over the place. Is it the fact that he
like a hoarder?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it the fact that he is too much of a mama's boy? Is it the fact that she is too much with her girls or whatever it is? And let me tell you something. Don't let anybody minimize your red flags because nobody has to be with that person but you. So,
I got a question. Okay.
I love this.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you can't change anyone, right? What if? What do you do? Like, say, for instance, I'm a person who I'm a workaholic. I work a lot, but I may not cook a lot, right? So if that's something that really can be changed, is that a problem? Like, I'm just not a person that cooks a lot, but I will work a lot. I'll buy the food, but I may not come up with creative things to cook, but I know that's something that a husband wants their wife to cook a lot, but I'm always working a lot. What can I do to help that kind of situation if I'm not going to change? Or I don't know.
Right. See, what we have to do is, that's a great question. What we have to do is be careful that we don't categorize everything as I just am who I am.
Okay.
Some of the things could be adjusted when possible. Now, if you're not getting home until, midnight every night, unless everybody in the house wants to wait until 12:30 to eat,
right?
And you really can't get home until midnight, then some things is what it is for that season.
Okay.
But it won't always be that season. And so there's a couple of issues or a couple of answers I have here. One, let's figure out, is this just a season in my life or is this permanently me? If it's just a season, let's have this conversation about getting through this season. I'm currently working and I get off at a certain time. I can't cook now. However, this season ends in July, August, September, January even. But give us something to look forward to. One thing people love in relationships is something to look forward to. Always give me, before you give me, or before you conclude this conversation on the downside, give me the upside. I can't do this now, but in January, I got you. Okay, that's one. Two, always remember, guys, that love, real love, is actually an action and not a feeling. So when I really love somebody, I'm looking to put that love into action and not just feel something. Love is not a feeling. That's just a feeling. You just got butterflies. You just got googly eyes and stuff going on in your stomach. But love is an actual action. Most popular Bible verse. For God so loved the world, watch what it says right after that he gave, so he did something about it. He put it into action. Watch what he gave, though. He gave his only begotten son. He gave what's most precious to him. So love doesn't just give whatever it feels like giving. Love gives something that actually means something, and it actually matters. He gave his only begotten son. Whoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. So he gave something so wonderful, that he made it easy for people to be able to reciprocate that love. So what we do is, to answer your question, is I now look and I go, I can't do this, or it's a struggle for me to do this, but in my love for this person, can I find a workaround? So I can't cook dinner, but I can do breakfast. I can't do breakfast, but I can do lunch. Unless you're working from midnight to midnight, I can't. In which case, your check is off the chain, and more power to you. Then you got to plan a cruise. So, but at some point in the day, I might not be able to cook, but I can pack you a snack for lunch. I can leave something in the refrigerator so that when I'm not home, you can warm it up when you get up, or you can warm it up when you get home. I might not be able to physically cook in your presence while you're standing there and we're talking while I'm frying things up in the pan or baking in the oven or broiling or boiling or what have you. But can I cook maybe when you're asleep? I just got home. You're asleep. I'm going to prepare something, wrap it all up, put it in the fridge. When you get ready for dinner tomorrow night or lunch tomorrow afternoon or even breakfast in the morning, I got you. I've just done it. So I think the answer to that is, are there some workarounds? And now, everything is not ideal, but there are some workarounds.
Okay, so I can probably start off with cooking once a week.
Yes.
Like maybe a Friday or a day where I'm not in rehearsal or something like that, and just once a week. Okay. Yep. All right.
Once a week. And then, and as
But he's a chef, so he cooks all the time, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of a huge element right
there. So then sometimes it's that thing of, okay, then if I do cook, then it's, did you put this seasoning in it? Did you do this?
That is a funny footnote. By the way, did I mention I married a chef? Oh, what? I ain't cooking nothing. You a chef? You went to school for this. Man, you better get in there and whip us up some scampi.
Chef bar ID.
Yeah. You better get in there and whip us up some Miracle Day garlic.
But but that's interesting that you said that. I'm glad you said that, because I always felt that way of, can that be changed when you are married to someone that cooks all the time and that's a chef, and then someone like me who works a lot and I'm just not, the kitchen person. Like, how some men are not handymen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I have accepted that, you know what I'm saying? Or women have accepted that. So that was just something I wanted to know. So that's good. You have to kind of work it out.
That's me, y'all. I'm not a handyman. If the toilet is broke, that thing is just broke. Man, I'm not a handyman at all.
Right.
I'm so with it, because I have an uncle who can fix everything. And that's not even what he does for a living.
Right.
He's a detective for a living. But he can fix, oh my God. If your transmission go out, take it to his house. If the window, you need a new window in your house. If you need a new house, he gonna build it from the ground up. He is cold.
Now, is he in California?
Yes.
Okay, because I need him.
Yeah. Oh, he right down in LA. He fixing something right now. I bet you right now, he listening to this show, fixing somebody's radio in the car, talking about, yeah, there you go. See,
Yeah.
I'm getting your hometown station
I'm
right
gonna
now.
get your number right now.
That dude right there, he can fix. But that's not me.
Right.
That's not me. I can change a light bulb. I can put new tissue on the roller in the bathroom. But like, if the refrigerator go out,
Right.
that mug just out.
Right.
We need a new fridge. Now I can go buy the fridge. I can go get the plumber. I can
Right.
I know how to pick up the phone and say,
Right.
hey man, the thing won't go down when I hit the handle. But I'm not the guy to be digging all in there, put a new handle on, and making sure that everything go down. That's not me. So anyway, y'all, this hour way too fast.
Yeah, it was
way
fun.
too fast. We
Fun
need like a
today.
day. Can you imagine?
a day.
They gave me a whole day.
Yeah.
You know what we need to do? We need to talk about not just expanding the time, but we need to like start getting into, this is down the road, get into some locations.
Oh, that would be fun.
Woo!
That would
How
be fun.
hot would it be
Yeah,
to
that
do
would
the
be
Marlon
nice.
Saunders show live from the mall?
Yeah, and actually talking to people.
And
And
actually
that would
talk-
be fun.
I'd mess
on
with
the
everybody.
streets, the Marlon Saunders show. On
Yep.
the streets.
In the food court, on the escalator, I don't care.
Yeah.
In the elevator.
And I can stop by C's.
See there?
Yeah, I like peanut butter.
It don't matter to me. Y'all, I've had so much fun. This is just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all for kicking it. Thank
Thank
Malika
you.
for being in
Yes,
the house.
thank you. Santa
And-
Clarita KHTS.
I love this town.
Yeah, I love this town.
That's what it was.
I
We're trying to
love
figure
this
out what my
town.
catchphrase was. I love this town.
Yeah.
This is Marlon Saunders on the Marlon Saunders Show. KHTS, 12:20 a.m. I love y'all, and I'll
Love
see y'all
you.
later. Peace.